Hello there, this is our Getting Things Done series GTD 01 and the topic is the Zeigarnik Effect. Let's get going. Right, the Zeigarnik Effect was first proposed by Bluma Zeigarnik, a Russian psychologist back in the 20s, and was reported in her paper on finished and unfinished tasks, as most aptly termed. So what happened was that Zeigarnik was having a meal with her colleagues in a restaurant during lunch hour, so there were many people around. It was a busy time of the day. And what she noticed was that the waiter tending to them was especially focused and diligent throughout the process of explaining to them about the menu, the specials of the day, and the special requests, less spicy, more salt, and things like that. And that happened throughout the process. But as soon as they settled the bill, as soon as they paid for their meals, the waiter appeared as if he has forgotten totally about them. So any subsequent questions about the meals or anything pertaining to the restaurant, the waiter could not seem to be focusing much on them. So from there, Zeigarnik conducted further tests and observations and found that this is because our brain forms open loops and whenever we start with the task. So, in other words, our brain will remember and try to hold on to incomplete information until the loop is closed. So imagine drawing a circle whenever we start the task. So until the circle is complete, right, until it makes a full circle, our brain doesn't like it, and our brain will continue to nag us. And these, when they accumulate, we have more and more of these things going on. We call them the mental stuff, and these are the things, these open loops are the things that keep us awake in the night, really, because we start to get anxious. We start to worry about work, about tasks, about things that we have left unfinished. So that is actually our the brain functioning is a kind of natural mental state where we are being reminded by ourselves, really, about work that is not finished. And we do know that when there are too many of these open loops, that can lead to stress. And open loops will increase and become more and more complex with age. Obviously, as we grow older, we have got more commitments, more responsibilities, and that will cause us to think that we have lots to do, sometimes too much to do, and too little time to complete these tasks. And these will form what we call the open loops. Right? And when there are too many of them, there could be a kind of distraction, and that may not be very good for our daily life and efficiency. Take a look at this picture here. Like when we are involved in a project, right? So we know a project is consists of big and small pieces of work or tasks, and they're like a puzzle, right? And every single piece of the puzzle requires thinking, planning, and action. Regardless whether they are big or small, if we miss a piece of the puzzle, then the picture is incomplete, right? And that is what we mean by the Zeigarnik effect, the open loop. Similar to a puzzle, any missing pieces it doesn't matter whether it's a big one or small one, it will nag at us and make us feel that it is incomplete. Obviously, it is incomplete. Having said that, you always finish what you have started. Otherwise, it will come back and keep haunting you. So, taking on these findings by Zeigarnik, we could come up with four simple steps on how to get things done. Number one, take the first step. Once you start taking action, you are actually starting the circle. And once you start the circle, your mind, your brain will start working on you to remind you to close the loop, to finish it. And that will actually help us to finish whatever task that we have at hand. Number two, take short breaks. This is very, very interesting. In Zeigarnik's work and subsequent psychologists, psychiatrists, researchers who have pursued further with her work, they found that when we are engaged in a certain task, good focus and good attention is brilliant, excellent. Nonetheless, human beings are wired such a way that we cannot concentrate for too long. So for instance, if you are doing a revision, it will be good actually to study for like 30 to 45 minutes, focus totally, but take a 15 minutes break. When we take this break, it's not about going back to another piece of homework or going to another task that's similar to what we are currently doing. It is about going away, breaking away from the your current undertakings and doing something totally different. For example, if I'm studying now, making preparation for my homework or doing an assignment, doing a project, the 15-minute breaks should be about going out, maybe doing a quick run, maybe doing Tabata, maybe looking at flowers, checking out your fish in the aquarium, do a quick skipping, things that are totally different from whatever you're doing. Because it has been found that if we do that, when we break out from doing whatever we are currently doing and then come back to it after the short break, we can be more productive and more efficient. Do try that out. It works that way. Number 3, have a to-do list. We are being told from young that have a to-do list so that we will not miss out what to do. A simple example of that is our timetable. The thing is that when we write down the stuff that we need to do, we are actually removing them from our head. Remember, all these tasks are like open loops. If they are already started, then they are open circle waiting to be closed. If they are not yet being started on, then when we write it down, we know that that's something we need to do. And we will close the loop when we have finished it, and we will cross it off our list. So that's important. And you can look back at our TOL, Thinking Out Loud series on the power plan to figure out or to have some quick tips and tricks on how to come up with a good plan that is executionable and effective. Last but not least, create cliffhangers for yourself in completing your task. What are cliffhangers? Is that when we are watching this Netflix or this series, notice that at the end of each episode, there's always something in suspense happening. For instance, the hero is chasing after the bad guy and we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the heroine has fallen into the sea and we don't know what is going to happen. Or maybe the villain has started shooting and we don't know who is going to get hurt. So we are tempted. We are very much tempted to go on to the next episode. And that's what leads to binge watching, right, on Netflix. That's a separate issue. Now, those are cliffhangers. So similarly in our work, to entice us, to tempt us, to attract us to go back to our work and finish them the next day, it's always good to create these cliffhangers. Leave our work at the point where the next step will be something interesting, adventurous, and draw out the curiosity in us, right? Draw the motivation in us to want to get back to it and get it done. So these are the 4 simple steps here that we could actually execute. I shall end this session with a small quote here by David Allen. Much of the stress that we feel doesn't come from having too much to do. It really comes from finishing what we have started. And I think we can all share this common notion. We are stressed out because we have not finished what we have started to do. And this goes back to the Zeigarnik Effect, those open loops. So, dear all, do bear in mind that it is not a bad thing that our mind is reminding us about these open loops. Do go back and come up with a list of all these open loops and get them closed up one by one. All the best, stay safe, bye-bye.